let's start your formal interview. We will begin with a brief introduction of yours.
Okay, sir. I just want to confirm that whether my position is right. Am I looking good in front, or should I change it?
Yes, this is fine. We can proceed with the interview.
Okay, sir. I am Akshay Patil. I belong to Jalgaon district of Maharashtra. I completed my graduation in mechanical engineering from Pune. And sir, in my free time, I love writing Marathi poems, and I also practice the art of origami.
Okay, so can you recite some Marathi poetry for us?
Yes, sir. Sir, you want me to recite my own poem, or you want to recite my favorite poet's poem?
You can start with your own poem first.
Thank you, sir. Sir, my poet is about this is written for my grandmother. Every year she go for Wari to Pandharpur, but in last 2 years she couldn't go there. The poem is depend on that. So, sir, she is addressing to her God through this poem. विठोबा रखुमाही पुरता झाला विलंब आता तुझ्या दर्शनाची घाई. Oh my God, I just want to say you. It's been too late, or it was I was waiting. काय तुझे रूप जणू युगानुयुगानंतर तुला पाहते. तुझे काळे तेज देवा माझ्या डोळ्यातून वाहते. देवा काय सांगू कित्येक गेली कित्येक जग राहिली जाता जाता. देवा काय सांगू कित्येक गेली कित्येक राहिली जाता जाता. तुझी लेकरे जगली आणि जगत राहतील अशीच चालता चालता.
Good.
बरं देवा.
All right. So now Akshay, tell me what genres of poetry do you like the most in general?
Sir, generally I like the poetry who are written, who are particularly related to feelings a human being particularly going through at that moment. So poetry depends on the real life feelings.
Okay. So can you tell me some good Marathi poet who has written some poetry on human feelings, as you mentioned?
Sir, out of my some favorite poems, one of the most favorite is Sri Mangesh Padgaokarji, and he write very good poems related to human emotions.
Okay, do you remember any of his lines?
Yes, sir.
Tell me.
I do remember, sir. Sir, one poet, he write about choosing the optimism in life, and the line is about that. काळ्या काळ्या काळोखात जेव्हा काही दिसत नसतं, काळ्या काळ्या काळोखात जेव्हा काही दिसत नसतं, कोणीतरी आपल्यासाठी दिवा घेऊन उभं असतं. आता अंधारात उडायचं की प्रकाशात उडायचं तुम्हीच ठरवा.
Okay.
तुम्हीच ठरवा.
So can you tell me meaning of these lines?
Sir, the poet wants to convey that whenever there is a dark phase of your life, but someone will be always there with the lamp. Now it is your choice that you want to keep cry and sit and cry in that dark phase, or just go towards the light and grab the light and fly with that light. So choose optimistic, be optimistic in life.
Okay. So now my question, Akshay, is that can you give me, you are a student of mechanical engineering, right?
Yes, sir.
And after that, you have worked in the same core sector only, I think.
Sir, during my graduation,
you have worked in John Deere, right? It's a
yes,
core
sir.
mechanical company manufacturing tractors, right?
Yes, sir. Sir,
So,
I didn't work there. I was sorry to interrupt you, sir. I was working as an intern there. I did internship there during my graduation.
Okay. So coming to your mechanical side experience, can you tell me some instances where you think being optimistic is not good, or being pessimistic is better? Can you give me some instance?
Sir, during my internship, actually I had to travel a lot during my internship days. So one day, actually, I was waiting for the vehicle, and I visited a village where I conducted the interview of farmer. It was a surveying job, sir. So I did survey. I was returning from that village and I was waiting for the vehicle. Villagers suggested me that you should stay right now. You should stay here. Don't go. You will not get any vehicle to go at the district base. But I was optimistic. I was hopeful. I stayed there for 10:30. But after that, I started feeling that it is not safe and I should return back to village. So in that moment, sir, if I would have been pessimistic, rather I would say if I would have been practical, the things would have been better.
Okay. So during the testing, during the testing of seat belts and making of seat belts, do you think we should be optimistic or pessimistic while designing the seat belts?
Sir, while designing the seatbelt, I think we should be practical, not more pessimistic, not optimistic, but we should be practical, considering the real-time situation which will occur in the case of accident.
Okay. So you come from Maharashtra.
Yes, sir.
Maharashtra is known to be a industrial state. Do you agree? Maharashtra is an industrial state.
Yes, sir. I do agree.
Okay. So in which regions of Maharashtra majorly industries are located? Tell me briefly
Sir,
with some examples.
Okay, sir. Prominently, there are 5 regions where the industrial belts are located in Maharashtra. Sir, first there is Mumbai, where the cotton industry as well as entertainment industry is epicenter it is. Sir, Pune. Second is Pune, where the IT industry and automobile hub is situated. Third, sir, in Aurangabad region, there is automobile industry. Fourth, sir, there is a Nashik, where food processing industry, particularly wine and grapes related industries are available. And sir, fifth, my own district from where I belong, Jalgaon district, there is a food processing industry and irrigation component manufacturing industries there, sir.
Okay. So coming to EPFO and this role, what do you know about EPFO as a body?
Sir, EPFO stands for Employee Provident Fund Organization. It is India's primemost body serving the social security needs of our labor sector, who is a backbone of our economy. Sir, the organization is catering the social security need through the implementation of Act, Employee Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provision Fund Act. And through that Act, they implement 3 major schemes: Employee Pension Scheme, Employee Provident Fund Scheme, and Employees Deposit Link Insurance Scheme.
Okay. Can you tell me the contribution percentages given by employee and employer?
Yes, sir. Sir, in Provident Fund, sir, majorly employee and employee both contribute 12% for their social security needs. And if you go to the particulars of number, in the Provident Fund, employee contributes his 12% of basic wages, and employer contributes 3.67% to the Provident Fund, while remaining 8.33% he contribute to the employee pension scheme.
Okay. What about EDLI?
Sir, in EDLI, employer contribute, and that contribution is 0.5%.
Okay. So where does EPFO invest all this money that it gets?
Sir, EPFO primarily invests their money in 4 to 5 major instruments, such as government securities, like state government securities, central government securities, state development loans. Sir, second, it invests in corporate or government bonds, like debt instrument. Third, sir, equity and related instruments like mutual fund and ETF. And fourth, sir, there are miscellaneous instruments. So these are major areas.
What is the highest limit or percentage till they can implement make the investment in the open markets or the share markets?
Sir, according to current regulations, maximum 15% can be invested in market in equity component.
Okay. Tell me something about Central Board of Trustees.
Sir, Central Board of Trustee is a prime and executive body of our organization who take all important administrative executive decisions. Second thing, sir, Central Board of Trustee is a body who actually manage the investment of the fund and decide the rate of interest of return.
Okay, tell me about his composition.
Sir, in Central Board of Trustee, there are 43 members. One is chairman, who is Honorable Minister of Labor. Second, there is a vice chairperson. Third, sir, there is a secretary who is Central Provident Fund Commissioner. Apart from that, sir, there are 5 members from central government, 15 members from state government, and remaining 10 members are from employees side, and the remaining 10 members are from employers side.
Okay. You completed your graduation in 2018, and what have you been doing since?
Sir, after completing my graduation, I prepared for civil services for 2 years. After that, I decided I should look for other alternate opportunities. And since then, I'm preparing for this EPFO exam as well as other I preparing for other exams.
Okay. So why didn't you join private sector? Did you sit in the placements?
Yes, sir. I got a chance to sit in the placement, but I opted to not go and join the private sector.
Why?
Sir, for this decision, actually the learnings or my interview experience was responsible for this, sir. From there, I got a motivation or feeling that I should go to public sector. There are 3 reasons, sir. Actually, my internship was a surveying job where I have to travel to different villages, have an interaction with farmers who have a contractor, who have harvester machines. So, sir, through that internship, I realized 3 things. That when you solve someone's problem, you address someone's issue, you get immense satisfaction. Second thing, sir, importance of authority while solving the problem. And third, sir, I love interacting with people. And during that internship, I realized that if job which involves the public dealing, I would be in a better position to serve that job. And all this kind of job profile was in the public sector. More it was available in the public sector. That's why I decided to continue.
In last 4 years, have you done anything to serve the public at large?
As such, sir, there is one incident during the COVID period. There was a lockdown, and lot of people who are homeless not able to get a food. In that course, sir, with the permission of local authorities, we group of students, we group of friends arranged the food collection drive and give that food to the needy. This is one I'm able to remember at this moment, sir.
All right. This is it from my side. Dr. Dhananjay will carry forward the interview.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, Akshay.
Hello, sir.
Right. So your hobby is poetry in Marathi language.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'll tell you names of 4 Marathi poets, and please
Okay.
arrange them in the chronological order, starting from the most ancient one.
Okay, sir.
Gyaneshwar, Eknath, Namdev, and Tukaram.
Okay. Sir, I am not exactly sure about the chronology, but if you allow me, I would guess.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, first would be Sant Gyaneshwar, who was around to 12th or 13th century. Second, there will be Sant Namdev, but the last poet will be Sant Tukaram, who was around 16th or 17th century.
Very good. Akshay, you have also mentioned origami as your hobby.
Yes, sir.
Is there any Indian version of it or Indian name for it?
Sir, in India, actually, we have adopted that as like it is. But in India, I am able to recall the name for Marathi. In Marathi, we say it is a Kagad Kam, and it is compiled in our curriculum.
In,
School
in
curriculum.
any other language you are aware of the term that is used for it? Hindi or maybe another South Indian or North Indian language?
Origami, sir. Kagad, I can guess Kagad Kam can be the term.
Okay. So you come from Jalgaon,
Yes, sir.
place which suffers from severe water crisis.
Yes, sir.
What are tell us some state government initiatives to handle that crisis, and what in your opinion should be done more to address it properly?
Yes, sir. Sir, first, the steps taken by government that there are two big dams in that area. First is a Hatnur Dam, which is on Tapi River. So it is catering the huge need. And sir, second dam, that is a Padarsa Dharan, Padarsa Dam. The work is in the progress. So these important steps are taken. Apart from, but the main problem is, sir, what can we do to solve the problem? First is, sir, most is efficient use of water, because lot of farmers take a water intensive crops, so lot of water is going there. And second, also generally people don't use water efficiently, so implementation of water meters in every house, this can be the effective solution.
Okay, so any solutions like rainwater harvesting, are they being practiced in your area? You didn't mention
Sir,
them.
okay, sir. Generally, people right now are becoming aware, and they are practicing rainwater harvesting, such as the water from their terrace would be directly go to the soil through the pit. But generally, on large practice not followed, and also there is no compulsion or regulation from government side. So we can compel people to follow it.
Okay. So Akshay, you want to join EPFO as enforcement officer?
Yes, sir.
There is another profile, accounts officer, on offer.
Yes, sir.
What are the roles of accounts officer in EPFO?
Sir, first, accounts officer's prime role is to maintenance of accounts related to the provident fund, and second, sir, settling the claims which are filed by the members of EPFO. These are prime duties of account officer. Also, sir, other duties which are delegated by seniors. For enforcement officer, sir, enforcement officer's main jobs to enforce.
There are let's focus on accounts officers for now. There are other areas as well which are very much mentioned in the notification itself. Are you aware of a few more areas where accounts officer can be employed to work for?
I'm sorry, sir. I will go and will read about it.
Okay. So, suppose the establishment has 30 employees.
Yes, sir.
And all the employees are drawing a salary which is in excess of 15,000 per month. So will you as an enforcement officer ensure the compliance of act in that establishment?
Sir, in that case, there is no compulsion on employer to provide the social to come in the ambit of EPFO Act, because salary is more than 15,000. So in that case, we can have a dialogue and we can try to convince the employer that he should give a benefit that will be in the benefit, those will be beneficial for worker.
Okay, so is there any provision of voluntary coverage?
Yes, sir.
Tell me more about that.
Sir, in the voluntary coverage, if a particular employee establishment where either workers are less than 20, so in that case, there is no compulsion to follow the act. And in the case where salary, workers are more than 20, but salary is greater than 15,000, also there is no compulsion. So in both the cases, if employer himself want, can voluntarily opt for this to come under the scheme.
And what is an exempted establishment?
Yes, sir, exempted establishment are establishment where the social security benefits assured by the establishments are at par with the rate of governments or even better than that. In that case, they are given exemption and to go on to manage their social security on their own. These establishments called as exempted establishments.
Is there any part of their contribution managed by EPFO as well?
Sir, as for my little knowledge, I think the investments are managed by the establishment themselves, but I'm not aware about whether there any part which is being managed by EPFO.
Okay. So you are aware that the enforcement officer in EPFO is notified as an inspector as per the Gazette. So now the government is planning to recruit 421 inspectors. On one hand, we all want Inspector Raj to end. On the other hand, we are recruiting so many inspectors. Don't you see it's very dichotomous in itself?
Sir, according to recent government provisions, the inspector now we are being call him as an inspector cum facilitator. So already initially it was job to just inspect the establishment, but right now the role is also to help the employer to make compliance easily or to follow the and make the compliance easy. So it is act as an inspector who will check as well as a facilitator who will help to make the compliance possible.
Okay, so suppose you can help the employer as an enforcement officer. Can you help directly an employee in getting the services of EPFO?
Sir, through awareness generation, we can ensure that workers are aware about their right.
What else? Tell me, what direct help can you give?
Sir, if any worker approaches me and tell us that he is not getting his social security benefit, he have a right to get it, but he is not getting. In that case, we can ask the establishment. We have an authority that we can ask the establishment why is not getting it and provide with proper reasons.
Okay, so suppose if a worker does not have any access to enforcement officer like you or someone else, what are the avenues available to lodge a grievance or get them redressed?
Sir, we have a very quite extensive grievance mechanism in our organization EPFO. First, sir, EPF IGMS portal. So in that portal, he can file his grievance. Also, sir, he can call to the call centers of our EPFO organization. And at last, sir, he can also CPIGMS portal is there, Central Grievance Redressal Management System, where there also he can file a complaint and ask for help.
Is it CPIGMS or CP Grams?
I'm really sorry, sir. I would correct myself. It is CP Grams.
Okay. Have you heard about the GEM portal 3.0 version?
Sorry, sir. I'm not aware about it. I will read it.
Have you heard about the government e-marketplace?
Sir, could you pardon? I couldn't understand the question.
Government e-marketplace. In short, we call it as GEM portal. You have heard
Yes,
about
yes. Yes, sir. Sir, it is an online portal now where government can buy directly goods or directly commodities from farmers. So it is an online platform where the procurement of goods can be done.
I mean, how does it support small MSME sector or farmers as you stated?
Sir, as I'm not aware about the exact provisions of that program, that's why I would not be able to tell you. I'm sorry.
Okay, fair enough. Akshay, those were my questions. So now your formal interview is over. You can breathe easy.
Yes, sir.
Right. So now you will get the feedback for this interview. I'll request Rahul sir to start.
Hello, sir. You can start. I'll join in a minute.
Okay. So, Akshay, first, let us talk about your strengths.
Yes, sir.
You seem to be a hardworking person, first of all. You are well prepared.
Yes, sir.
And in most of the areas that I tried to probe, you seem to have certain amount of information and ideas. Like, in fact, that answer of chronology of Marathi poets. Am I audible to you, Akshay?
Yes, yes. Sir, can I take a notebook to note down my important point?
Please note down. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we were talking about your strengths. So knowledge
Yes,
is your strength. You seem to be aware, or you seem to have sufficient knowledge in terms of what is expected from a candidate, and you have good communication skills. Right?
Thank you, sir.
2-3 areas you need to work upon, and you will be amongst the toppers, I can tell you.
Yes, sir.
First of all, reduce your intro. You are speaking a little too much on certain questions. Like when sir asked you to recite a Marathi poem, you give a very long introduction about the poem itself. Interview is a very short event, you know. It does not last for more than 25 minutes in most cases when it comes to EPFO interviews. Your video is breaking, I guess. Akshay, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm not able to hear you now.
Okay. So, what was the last thing you heard?
Reduce your introduction, or reduce, or make your answer compact. This was your point, sir.
Yeah. So, like when you were asked to tell a poem, you started with a very long introduction. That you could have done away with. You could have just said it, sir, the poem pertains to this, and you could have started. And no need of translation till the time the board asks you to translate.
Okay, sir.
Like it's a Marathi poem. Everybody wants it to hear in Marathi. If someone is interested, he or she, the panelist can always tell you, please translate it in Hindi.
Yes,
right?
sir.
So don't need to waste time on a single answer.
Yes, sir.
And you have fine knowledge of EPFO, but you can keep brushing. And one question I asked, if all members are getting more than 15,000 and 30 members are there, will it be applicable? The answer is yes. The act shall have to be compulsorily applicable the day 20 employees get completed in an establishment. After that, although the contribution is not mandatory, it will be only 0.5% administrative charges that will be mandatory for all the employees. And beyond that, no mandatory membership will be there, right?
Okay. Okay, sir.
So you can, when is your interview?
On 19th of July, sir.
You have a fair amount of time. You can frame 5 questions from each and every keyword in your DAF.
Yes.
I didn't ask current affairs from you due to positive time because other areas we went more into them. So from your DAF, you keep framing questions and set stopwatch for 30 seconds. Don't exceed 30 seconds for any answer.
Okay, sir.
Right. Stand in front of a mirror and practice. You'll definitely do good. Best wishes are with you now. Yeah. Any question you want to ask?
Thanks. First of all, sir, thank you so much for this valuable feedback. I would improve on it. Sir, my question is that when I have some technical questions related to EPFO.
Go ahead, please.
Sir, if I get asked that what are areas where EPFO can improve, or what are the improvement scope for EPFO? So I couldn't find a good answer for that question. First, so what can be answer for this question?
See, what do you understand by unorganized sector? There is a lot of unorganized workforce. So EPFO can increase its coverage, first of all, and benefit the unorganized sector, which forms the bulk of the employment in India even now. It's more than 80%.
Akshay, one good source that I would recommend is you go through the new Social Security Code. It has not been implemented yet, and there are a lot of new changes out there. So there is a thinking about those changes, and they are in the progressive direction, like gig workers. The new act, it proposes so you can use those as your answer also, like the things that are implemented in the Social Security Code. You can introduce some of those aspects also. Sir, please
Sir,
continue.
in fact, yes, exactly that was my question, sir, because most of the good steps, any problem that, sir, there is no good coverage, then answer counter question will be yes, we are considering gig workers, we are considering contractual workers, we are considering fixed term employment workers. That's why I'm not able to find the problems where there is no solution.
No, these are the, it's not been implemented as of yet, as sir said. So you can always say, you can always bring these things into discussion. That's why these areas are yet to be covered under EPFO. Beyond that, we are working on digitization, right? So in a lot of areas, digitization is still, when someone has to make modifications to the details, I mean, you can always say that digitization, although is going in the right direction, but better use of technology can still ensure seamless benefits, seamless claim settlements, etc. Right, and that will help in reduction in delays of claim settlement. Like you can always say there is a timeline of 20 days for claim settlement. Right? Although the vision of the government is to reduce it to 3 days, why not same day settlement? EPFO should look for same day settlement. It should provide the claim settlement within hours to the members. That should be the vision. That is where we should work upon. Right?
Sir, what I read in the annual report of EPFO 2021 annual report, there is mention about the Prayas initiative, where and the Nirvana Seva, where we are trying to provide the EPF claim settlement on the day of retirement itself, also the provision of pension payment order on the day of retirement itself. So it is implemented or yet to be get implemented?
Yeah, it is. It has already been implemented. A lot of Prayas beneficiaries are already there as EPF pensioners now. So it's on the lines of the government job itself, that people retiring from the government, they get all the benefits on the day of retirement itself. So it's on similar lines. It's a good initiative, but in claim settlement, there is a lot to be achieved now. So you can always put forth that. So EPFO can reduce the claim settlement, because once you apply a claim, you're waiting for 10 or 20 days. If it's better if you get the money same day or the next day at best.
Okay.
So these are areas you are not expected to tell very technical solutions there, because you are not still working in EPFO. They expect only very keen interest from you and very specific suggestions, in the sense that you are a journalist who has studied about EPFO and now you follow EPFO keenly, and that much is what is expected from you, not that the technical nuances or legal aspects they are expecting, right?
Sir, the next question is that, as we said, there are huge amount of unorganized sector workers, but few sections now we are covering. What about other more than 80% of workers? How we can cover them on unorganized sector?
You prepare an answer for this. It's a very big area. It's a very big topic, wherein also Social Security Code answers it, because universalization of Social Security is the aim of it. So please read it. Read the discussion documents about it.
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, it is that one question is that right now the returns of EPFO are reduced to 8.1%. So if they ask what we can do to increase the returns, so I have a only answer for this question, sir. In equity component, we are investing only 15%. So we can raise this component with handling little bit risk and just empaneling the better fund managers. We can ensure better returns. So apart from this, is there anything to add in the answer?
It's a good answer. It's a good answer. Okay. So within the limitations of time and energy one has, you are expected only this much, that you have a keen interest, you are able to suggest certain things. You don't expect technical answers, very technical answers, fine answers that yes, we can have better managers, we can, overall it's about the economy. Better the economy performs, better the government is able to issue good rates on its bonds and securities, etc. So if the overall economy does better, definitely the returns will be better on EPFO itself. The Sensex shall go up. Right. So overall, the government is very limited that the government can do in this case, right? So it depends on the economy as well. So that aspect also you have to tell.
Okay, sir, and I have a last question to ask. That, sir, certain provisions of new labor codes are actually, if we see from the apparent level, it seems that they are not in the favor of workers. Actually, for example, stringent provisions related to strike, So all these which the mention that for closure of the establishment, now the threshold from increased from 100 to 300. In that case, if
See,
they ask
the
that
government,
most of the
see, on the part of the government, job creation, ease of doing business, all these are primary motives, right? So there has to be a balance between rights of the protection of to workers and the ease of doing business and job creation. Ultimately, job creation is also from the point of view of worker itself. What is the use of very good labor protection laws in a country where no jobs are being created? So to strike that balance, there has been deliberation and discussion through various committees, boards, etc. And then the government has reached to these conclusions that some amount of relaxation to the companies, which definitely lead to lower protection for workers in some ways, will increase ease of doing business and job creation in return, which will ultimately benefit the labor itself.
okay.
So you can present it in that way.
Yes, sir. And sir, can I quote any particular committee? If you could suggest me a particular committee who was instrumental, whose recommendations were instrumental.
Please go through the PRS deliberations, PRS documents about Social Security Code. You will find a lot of good points there.
Yes,
Right.
sir. Yes, sir. I will definitely work on these areas.
Yeah. So all the best, Akshay. Now,
Thank you so much, sir.
All right, Akshay, when is the interview?
Sir, my interview is on 19th of July.
Okay, all right. You have quite some time, but still, I would suggest that see, you know a lot of things, and you know good amount of details also. As sir also mentioned once or twice that you are not expected to know too much of technicalities, right? So don't chase the technicalities. Prepare on the basics really well, because most likely they will ask you basics like what do you mean by social security, and starting from therein, right? So work on good answers for the basic questions, and you did really well in the interview. You were calm and composed, and you were able to answer most of the questions, and that too in a desirable manner. Try to be little more patient, I would say. Apart from that, you can read about EPFO in the sense that that is as I said, like it is suitable for a journalist. So as a generalist, you should know what to read, what to study, and all. Apart from that, I think this is pretty much it. You are a good candidate, and all the best from my side.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Sir, as we discussed, I would like to discuss a little bit about my internship. Sir, actually, I did in graduation, and it was a surveying job. I had to visit in the 3 states, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, and Maharashtra, to go to the farmers, particularly those who have that harvester machine of John Deere, and to interact with them, understand their business model, and understand their problem. So that was very enriching experience. I traveled, I had actually seen the ground level situation. And when you ask me why you came into private sector, why you came into the public sector, at that moment, my motivation was that internship. To which answers I gave, was it realistic? Was it seem realistic, or it was seem that it is a bookish answer when I gave that answer?
No, the answer was satisfactory. As I said, you have the most of the basics correct. But what I would suggest is that you work on these basic answers, and you can further improve them in the way that you deliver. Because see, these are expected questions, right? So these basic questions you can improve more, and you can finesse them a little bit in the way you present. Like the way you presented information was also nice, but as you mentioned now that it involved getting into 3 different states and all. So these things also you could have integrated in that answer only, right?
Okay. And sir,
so if you practice a bit more, so you'll be able to do that.
Okay. And what can be better answer that why you want to go in a public service?
No, this is a good answer. No? See, answer should come from your within, and it should reflect the honesty. And it is a good enough answer that during your, you know, engineering course, you came across something, and then it motivated you to join the government sector.
Okay.
And but avoid, you know, taking a line which is negative towards something else. Like, for example, you should not say that while doing engineering, it should not seem like while doing engineering you couldn't help the people or something like that. It should seem like government service or government job is something which interests you more. I mean, that is why you chose to go in this direction. So it is fine.
And sir, I one point which I mentioned, I'm not sure whether it is give negative connotation or positive. As I said, sir, while doing internship and after hearing the problems of people, I actually learned the importance of having authority to solve the problem. Because at that moment I heard the problem, but I did not have any authority, so I couldn't take any action. So
yeah, the authority part was something I wanted to, you know, ask some follow-up questions too. So once you mentioned the word authority, there might be some follow-up questions to check whether you are attracted to government service because of its power rather than you know, the responsibility that you are getting. So you know, I think you should avoid taking that line. It could invite some undue, you know, questioning. Otherwise, your answer was like pretty fine. So avoid the authority thing. I mean, you can contribute to society without authority also, right? You understand that. So don't use that. I mean, that is why I asked, you know, probably the question that followed was from my side. What did you do in these 4 years to actually help the people? And then there, in that question, your answer was not very satisfactory, because I think you didn't work much in those 4 years, right? So towards anything, including public service. So avoid you know, getting into those areas like authority and such stuff. If they ask, you might comment on it. Otherwise, avoid.
Okay.
Tricky
Okay,
space.
sir. Yes, sir. Sir. Thank you so much for valuable your feedback. And one particular question, sir, is anything about my body posture or body language or facial expression? Is there anything area where I need to improve, particular for that?
No, I can't say 100% that I was able to observe your facial expressions very much, but overall your posture and your way of answering was fine. I couldn't find any flaws in that.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you so much for your valuable time and valuable feedback, sir. And I will improve on that front, definitely.